hot as they are now. Come on now, let's stand up. This is going to take everything you got. And some of you were tapping your feet in your heart. I know that you were. But we're up here working it, and this is going to be an incredible Sunday. So maybe you need to let your vibration build, but I guarantee by the time you leave here, you're going to want us to play that song again, probably just so you can dance in the audience. That's what's fitting to happen up here. We've got all kinds of exciting things. It's Barefoot Sunday. Y'all remember that? Did you remember? I personally am not barefoot at this moment, but I did bring a couple of pairs of shoes and I put them in there so you will not be shamed if you have shoes on your feet at this moment. But it's Barefoot Sunday. We're donating for Souls for Souls. If you forgot, you must do penance to Linda Wanamaker. Right here. Somewhere back in here. Yeah, she will let you know about that.
Okay,
there's something else really big coming. That's big today. There's something really big coming up in April, and I'm trying to remember what it is. Nashville chooses peace! Yeah. Are you guys getting pumped? Yeah. Woo! Are you getting pumped about this? We need to bring some pom-poms up in here. We got a marching band. Judy, you got a marching band you can bring up in here? It's the month of Nashville Chooses Peace. April 21st, 2 weeks from yesterday, is the day that we invite our community to our front yard. And we talk about peace, and we radiate peace, and we vibrate peace, and we sing peace, and we paint peace, and we do all kinds of things. And it's all about peace, because that's who we are and how we show up in our community. We are at the time of the nitty-gritty, and here's what that means. We've got 2 more Tuesdays between now and then. That means 2 more planning meetings that we're going to have. And I would like to have 72 people there this Tuesday. What do you think, Judy? We're talking about Nashville Chooses Peace. We're talking about the music. musicians. It's going to be fantastic. We've got two more planning meetings, and there's something else big that we've got coming up. If you can't make a Tuesday night, next Saturday is when we spruce up our home for our neighbors and our friends to visit. So we will be all hands on deck next Saturday for a cleanup, general, get the yard ready, do all the kinds of things. Plan on coming out, dress for the occasion. If you show up in your high heels, Frank, if you show up in your high heels, and you say, well, I just can't work in the yard because I'm not dressed for it, I'm warning you right now. Just go ahead and get dressed for it. Come on out. It's going to be so exciting, and you're going to want to be a part of it. Also, in conjunction with that, those purple shirts that say Unity of Music City, today's last call. Last call to order one. There's an order sheet on the board out there. They're $10 a piece. Buy 3. They're cheap. Buy 3. Put your name on there. Money to me or Judy or Charlotte. You can always give money to Charlotte. We've got a couple of other things coming up this week. We've got on Tuesdays, of course, Empath Support Care for Empaths with Becky Astorita. If you're interested in that, please see Becky and all of the things that Becky offers for us here. And then next Sunday, right after church, the men's group will be meeting at 1 p.m. in the chaplain's room. So anybody who wants to join the men's group and identifies as a man, please feel free to join them. Let me tell you, I'm a little buzzy right now, got to tell you. My vibration is really, really high, and there's a very good reason. You're going to find out. You're going to be with me here by the end of the day. One of the things I want to tell you is this. 18 people who are the leadership of this church willingly, happily, joyfully gave all night Friday night and all day yesterday to be better leaders and to show up in a more focused and divine way. And that's powerful stuff. It's so powerful because they know that they are the place where God shows up. And you can know that too. Let's stand up and sing. Wait for it. It's gonna go. Sing it like you mean it. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. Am I strong enough to bear the burdens that sometimes come living this thing called life? And am I wise enough to make the right decisions when I'm standing at the fork in the road? Sometimes I wonder and ponder, only to realize I'm not alone and there's nothing I have to do on my own. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. Will I have enough to do the things I need to do to take care of myself? And will I have the health of mind and body to live a life of grace and holiness? Sometimes I wonder and ponder, you. I got reminded of a little something. It's birthday Sunday, so before we move on, anybody who's got an April birthday, would you stand up and let us celebrate the fact that God showed up in you? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear friends. Happy birthday to you. Now, the whole reason the leadership spent the weekend together this weekend is because of this woman that you're going to hear from today. I've heard that she's going to talk on peace or pain. But as I like to put it, you can walk around crucified or you can walk around creekified.
Get all creaked up.
Because Martha Creek's fitting to rock your world a little bit. And Reverend Dee's going to come up here and talk to us about that.
I know a lot of you have been in her presence before, if you've been in this congregation, because she's been here before. But what I want to say to you is what happened over this weekend was transformational. If you don't feel it, talk to some of the leadership here, because again, we had 18 people show up all Friday afternoon, evening, all day on Saturday, and we worked our stuff. If you don't know anything about Byron Katie's work, it is totally transformational. Because what I said to the leadership before I introduced her on Friday night is I am not the same person I was 7 or 8 years ago. I'm not the same person I was 3 years ago because of the work that I've done individually and in group with this woman. She is totally amazing. She's going to rock your world. Martha, stand up so they can see you, so when you get up there, they'll know it's you. So just hang on to your seats, because it's going to be amazing.
Buckle up, hold on tight. I'll tell you, to add another fantastic layer to all of that, as if that wasn't enough right there, we have the amazing music of Deborah Bishop. Deborah's with us here today. And then, of course, after you get creekified, you're going to want to keep the ball rolling. So this Wednesday, Lunch Bunch meets at 11:30, and then Wednesday night class is at 7 o'clock. Come on out and join us. If you're not growing, it ain't our fault. Be. Hello?
There you are. Hello. You're there.
Okay. Byron Katie.
Still not
Dave,
over.
she's on the red right now because the yellow wouldn't work.
It's not on. You're on red?
Loud.
Okay.
You need it on.
Oh. Go ahead. Is it working? Yes.
Yes.
I don't know. We still don't
No, it's
sound
not.
Byron Katie says,
It's not working.
It's not working.
See if it's on standby.
let's fix this right now because we know mine works. Is it my energy?
There you go.
All right. Everybody breathe, including me. Byron Katie says, peace is found on the inside. Where have I been looking? The affirmation. Peace is my true nature. Together. Peace is my true nature. Peace is a natural condition. Peace is my true nature. There is no peace in the world until I find peace in the present moment. If I can't find peace within myself, where is the hope for peace in the world? Peace doesn't require two people. It requires only one. It has to be me. The problem always begins and ends with me. When I look outside myself for peace, I'm looking in the wrong direction. Peace is found on the inside. Peace begins inside of me.
Therefore, the only house that it is important to clean is my own mind. I bring peace to this now moment by breathing into the peace that resides within me. In this now moment, there is only peace. There is nothing to do, nowhere to go, no one to be, no past or future. Everything just is. I just keep coming home to myself. I am the one I've been waiting for. And from John 14:27, peace I leave with you. My peace I leave with you.
As we pause here to connect with our true nature, that of peace, aware that we are not the source of that we are being sourced as that. And that we then consciously and intentionally use this time and this service and this morning, this right now morning, this here and now time to shed a few skins. To exercise our power of choice and to return to our true nature in mighty, mighty ways. So I invite you, in the eye of your mind and the eye of your heart, to imagine you walking up to several pairs of shoes. Shoes that have fit you in the past. Shoes that you've worn. And that today you're going to try them on again. And you're going to decide which shoes are going to go with you. Which shoes you're going to leave behind. So look at a pair of shoes and name them anger. And step into them. See how it feels to step in angry shoes. And decide, if I had just enough of this. See if you can choose to put those aside now. They're no longer mine. They no longer fit me. They no longer serve me. They no longer move me in the direction of my goals for my life. They've had their part. They've served in some way. And I'm making another choice today. And step in a pair of shoes we'll call shame. See how that fits. See how tight it is, confining and constricting, binding, limiting. See, have you had enough shame to last you the rest of your life? And will you consciously step out of those shoes? The rest of my days, I'm going to wear different shoes. Step into a pair called guilt. guilt. To notice what it does to your spirit to wear guilt. See how quickly you can get out of them. How quickly you can step back. I too have had enough guilt to last me the rest of my days. I'm choosing today. Try on a pair called fear. Fear. Fear that can't discern when there's no threat. Fear that's old, archaic. Fear that's been handed down for 2,000 years. Fear that I never questioned. See if it's lost some appeal to you. That too is losing its grip. Invite you to step out of those. And imagine now with a clean sweep moving those shoes away from you. These are no longer mine. These no longer serve my evolution. These no longer serve my spirit. Clear that these will not move me in the direction of my goals. Clear that there's pain associated with these. I'm shedding them now. And imagine another brighter pair of shoes in front of you. Shoes that appeal to you, shoes that you want to step into, shoes that you want to wear. You may call them empowered shoes, Superman shoes, Superwoman shoes, joy shoes, inspired shoes, possibility shoes, creation shoes, innovation shoes, love shoes, peace shoes. What shoe will you step into today? And really sink into them. Notice the fit and the support. And commit today. And even if the allure of those old shoes should appear, the power is within you to choose again. We begin again today. It is spring. We are springing forth. We're springing forth as nature does, as the trees do, as the flowers do. We too are breaking out, opening up, shining our light and understanding that what we have is precious, and what we are is precious. We're living that out in the world now, and on purpose.
Express introduction before I come and play. Yes. Just a little tenderness. Times are hard and we don't understand. Remember, we are blessed. Open up your heart and hold out your hands and trust. We will see, just trust and be free. Let spirit live. Let spirit speak. Let spirit love. Let spirit breathe in me. Just a little bit of faith. When the day is long and it won't seem to end, oh, bow your head and pray. Give up the fight that you fight to defend and love. We will see, just love and be free. Let spirit live. Let spirit speak. Let spirit love.
What'd you hear so far? What'd you hear in the service so far?
Some strange noise thing.
Let.
She can't turn it on.
Keep going. Well, now, some of you are just so grateful that that's not your cell phone. You can't focus. So, just before that, let the Spirit, it's like, that's the Spirit too.
Yeah.
So that's whatever you call it. So if you call that a problem, what are you going to experience?
A problem.
This is good news. Because if I name it a problem and then I experience it as a problem, who did that to me? So was it the ring or was it what I called it? This is basic unity. So I call it a problem, I get to have a problem. I call it tragic. What do I get to have? Tragedy. You're quick. I call it BAD. What do I get to have? What's she saying? So look around at somebody right by you and tell them you're really glad they came today. I'm really glad you came today. Really glad you're here. Now look back at the same people and say, however, this message is for me. However, this message is for me. So see if you can turn on some different ears as you begin to hear this then. Because you imagine then, what I name it, I become it.
Yeah.
What I name it, I experience. How does this inform you? How will this empower you? It says, okay, so at every situation, every interaction, there's two options for me. One hurts. One hurts less. One is painful. One is more peaceful. 100% of the time, there is another option for me.
Yes.
100% of the time, there's another option for me. And then what we're dealing with then is this old, archaic, outdated, 2,000-year-old belief system. Let's refer to it as our BS. And then there's a chance then today, right here, right now, to break through that BS, to break through some of that, to say, I'm going to shed some skin of BS, and I'm no longer going to live a hostage, as a hostage to that BS. So then the quicker I can catch it naming something bad, problem, tragic, awful, pain, will be the effect I go under. What's another option for me? Who would I be in this situation? Choosing peace.
More peaceful.
Who would you be in those interactions? Purposefully choosing peace.
Peace.
What would that feel like? Get a sense of it in your body if you can. Now, if you go home and start to practice this, the people around you will think you're on a new medication. They'll think you had a powerful meditation because they have not met you. They meet our personalities. They meet our personas, and personalities want. Personalities demand. Personalities have needs. Have you noticed? Personalities operate in the world of should. This should. This shouldn't. This should. Like I'm in charge. Who needs God when you've got me? Who needs God when we've got you to say how things should be? Then we're loco. not just literal to quit shoulding on yourself. It's not just a theory to not only not should on yourself, but to not should on us either. So what's it like in you when somebody shoulds on you? What's that like? I wish you could see your faces.
It's definitely not peaceful.
That's the reason not to do it. Because of how it feels when it's coming this way. That's the reason not to put that out in the world. In our relationships. In our children. In our partners, our colleagues. In our communities. If we can catch it. So begin to think about that then. If you eliminated the word should from your vocabulary. Like, let's get real with this. Let's get concrete with this. So how to undo this 2,000-year-old paradigm by systematically taking down what put it in place in the first place. The building blocks of it. The shoulds and the shouldn'ts. So, traffic should flow. Fantasy or reality? All together?
Fantasy.
Let's have a little choir. Let's impress Dr. J. Fantasy! Fantasy! Traffic should flow. People should understand me. Where'd you get that? You don't even understand you. So it is a hopeless matter to believe that we will. We're too far gone here to understand anything else. So now get a sense of it then, if you no longer believe that after this morning, if after this second, you could no longer believe a should. So you'd have a thought, it'll still come, as long as you've got a pulse. Traffic should flow. You may just laugh. Or smile. Like, well, that's false. That's not reality-based. Then you'll have a thought, like, they should have invited me to their party. And they didn't. What's the effect on you when you're believing they should have invited you to their party and they didn't? Upset, frustrated, irritated. Now this is the high spiritual types. Mad as a wet hen. Righteous, after all I've done for them. And after all I've done for God. It gets funnier and funnier. Like, who needs cinema when you've got us? So who would you be in that interaction if you simply didn't believe you should have been invited? More peaceful. Who would you be if you didn't mind?
Peace.
I'd be at peace. Peace wouldn't just be a theory. Like, peace is possible. Interaction to interaction. Invitation to invitation. Card by card. Attitude by attitude. Peace is possible. It's not so mysterious or so aloof. It's available to me. So get a sense of it in your body and turn to somebody and tell them, you know, peace is an option for me. Tell somebody, peace is an option for me. Peace is a new option for me. Peace is an option. Now turn back to that person and say, it's an option for you too. Peace is an option for you also. So at any minute, regardless regardless of the situation. Peace is an option for me. And then we've got the allure. You don't know what they've done to me. I don't. Only you know that. And even in that, peace is an option. Have you had just enough of that? Have you had just enough of dredging the past and the hurt of the past and the shame and the guilt of the past to have just enough of that? So I don't know anything about why that had to be. And I'm out of those shoes now. I don't know anything about that or why. I know there's another option for me. That's what I'm going for. That's what I'm going to live from. And then some of your family and friends will go, don't you let that go that easy. You know, you'll be condoning that. This doesn't condone anything. It doesn't make it okay. It doesn't make it all right. It makes it over. My favorite thing about the past, it's over. And then more power to say what's possible for me here. What's possible for me here. So I'm not condoned anything. I don't say it's okay. I say I've had plenty of it. And I see another option for myself. And it starts here. Now, what would stop you from choosing peace? Resentments. Patterned ways of being. Old patterns, habits. The track I run on. Holding resentment. Keeping score. Grudges. Not thinking that I can. Or forgetting that I can. Like not keeping it present to me as an option can keep me from choosing it. Self-protection. Self-protection. Value. Righteousness. Thank you. Honest. Familiar. The old shoes. The old skins. So get a sense then of, for no reason other than I've suffered enough, I'm going to drop the resentments. Not for them. For who? I want to live a lighter life. I want to have a hair more joy. And I don't like being bogged down in that, stuck in the mud of those resentments. So get a sense of that. If today, just like you're going to, some of you don't know this yet, but you're going to leave the shoes you're wearing in a box out there in the lobby. You're the last to know. So get a sense of, as you pull those off, that you unload something else today too. The hurts, the pains, the resentments, the grudges, the blame, the shame, anything that you can unload. No more trying to explain it. No more trying to make sense of it. I cannot make sense out of things that make no sense. You can't make sense out of things that do not make any sense. So then surrender to, I can't make sense of this. And I'm not putting my energy, my vital life force, trying to make sense out of things that do not make sense to me. I'm going to crawl out of that skin, leave that old shit behind, and I'm going to step into something that's far more interesting to me. For my sake. And for the sake of the one life the sake of the one life journey that I have here. And regardless of what happened back there, I'm going to be on a different road for whatever's left, for whatever's coming. I'm going to be on a different road from this. So I want to read to you from the text. You heard a very powerful reading this morning from B about where peace is and the allure to look for peace. Now in a minute we'll sing probably, "Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with her. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with her. Let there be peace on earth. As soon as he apologizes to me, I will." Well, this is the irony of this. Versus, "Let there be peace on earth," from the only place there can be peace on earth. The only possibility of peace in my family, in my relationship, in my community, in Nashville, Tennessee, is to have peace here. Peace here. And when there's peace here, there's possibility for peace in the projection. So clear the lens. Clear the lens for your own sake. This is what we'll be doing this afternoon. Some of you that'll stay, you'll feel like you're being mentored and tormentored. And that's my role. If you can't stay, the work is free, and it's at thework.com. And I'm reading an excerpt from the textbook on how to incorporate this and how to integrate this and how to live it out in your life. You can get it in any libraries, online. This little book's available as an excerpt from the website also. Take a big deep breath. Be aware you've crawled out of a skin or two this morning. Be aware that you've consciously left something behind. That you've consciously chosen enough. Had just enough of it. The only time we suffer is when we believe a thought that argues with what is. See if you can say it. The only time I suffer is when I argue with what is. So who's holding your key to peace? Me. This is good news. I'm holding the key. I can check out of Hell Hotel anytime. Because who checked me in? Me. So I'm holding the key to get out of here. If you want reality to be different than it is, welcome to hell. What is simply what is. Now imagine, going back to imagine you've had a flat tire. You call that flat tire a problem, what will you experience? A problem. If you call that flat tire what it is, a flat tire, what will you experience? No problem. This is what is. What can I do in relationship to what is?
Yeah.
Cannot change what is. I can change a tire. Quickly, effectively, innovatively, creatively, just like that. Or I can moan about that flat tire all the way to my grave. And this is what we're dealing with. Have you noticed? Because if you don't catch it, you'll leave here buzzed high in a high vibration, not even knowing what happened, but feeling different, feeling blessed, and then boom, flat tire. Did you hear what happened? Well, I thought you went to church, Martha. Well, I did. Well, how was it? Well, it was fine till I had a flat tire. Why me? That's what I want to know. Why me? I'm a mind reader. One of the tenets of the work is to meet thoughts with a broader understanding. Meeting thinking with a different framework. And it practices and guides us to practice inquiry. To actually say, is this true? They should have invited me to their party. Is that true? Is that thought reality-based? Back to reality I go. How do I feel when I believe they should have invited me? Irritated, upset, left out, rejected, abandoned, traumatized. Who would I be if I simply didn't believe they should have invited me? Calmer, more peaceful, moving in the direction of something that interested me. And then eventually, you'll be down on your knees thanking the God of your understanding that you didn't get invited. Because you didn't even want to go anyway. And you didn't know that you didn't want to go. Now, yesterday I asked these leaders, why do you come here? So I want you to ask you, why do you come here? What's your why for being at this ministry? Say it out loud.
Serve.
To serve. To learn. To grow. To break through. Why are you here? What do you get from being here? Relationships, fellowship, connection, love, surrender, peace, fun, joy, a smile, hugs.
I get high.
Yes, Linda gets high. Apparently Deb does too. It's just a high that won't cost you anything. It's a high that won't get you arrested. And if you've had just enough of those, welcome to the new one. Welcome to one that you may enjoy. And one that's sustainable. One that has real possibility. Some of your leaders said, I'm here to be in leadership. I'm here to give back from the fullness of which I have received. I'm here because my life started here. My living started here in this ministry. My real living started here. I have been asked to be here. I am committed to being here. I learn new things here. I grow here. I help others here. I get help here. I am in a heartfelt, warm, loving community. I come here to dive deeper into what is true and what is not. I'm here to be in service, to enhance my own skills. To enhance my own skills and the way I live in the world. I'm here because of the high I get. That must have been Linda. I'm here to grow and learn. And I'm here to put something out in the world. When people 2,000 years from now look back to this time, to a small, committed group of people that changed something old and archaic, I want to be a part of that group that did that. And I believe you do too. And if anybody else could do it, they'd be in these seats. So it is me, and it is you. And we're called to do it and equipped to do it. God doesn't call the equipped. God equips the called.
Yeah.
It's me. It's you. There's some back there on the table in the lobby is this Martha Creek talking. 12 talks. Now, I have a clear intention to getting our teachings out to the whole of humanity. So this CD is the opposite of copyrighted. So you're free to duplicate it. Teach from it. Email it. Listen to it. If you learn from it, keep listening. Stay close to the work. If you don't learn from it, it's not for you, it's not resonant with you, give it to somebody you don't like. Like sling it out a car window into a neighborhood or put it in a Goodwill box. Just do anything you have to do to keep this moving out into the world, because it's meant to be seeds. It's meant to grow. It's meant to reach what I can't reach. So I can reach this many, and then we can reach this many, and then eventually we live in a different world. We live in a different world. And then all of my the Martha Creek activities are on the website. There's going to be retreats all around, retreats up in Louisville, over in Wilmington, down in Florida. You're welcome to come to any of them. I would love to torment you Saturday, Sunday, any chance I can. And if there's ever a way that I can support you. My mission is to serve those who serve. So if I can be of any support to you, you're welcome to it. Get in touch with me. And I can't leave today without honoring this one. Do you have a sense of what you have in her?
Yes.
And what a student she is, what a student she commits to be, how much she's dedicated to improving herself and to lead any change that she's able to incorporate, which is over the top. To lead that out into a community like that, and into a community of Nashville and then of Tennessee. She also mentors other ministers that are training in the field. So she's serving in ways that you likely wouldn't even know. And then this one that hides behind the piano. I'm just telling you, just not to take anything for granted here. And if should you ever even get close to that, plug in to what's going on in some other churches, and then come in and kiss their feet. And the leaders here. So all of you leaders that were here yesterday, God bless you. Let's give them we'll close with our new, how are we going to be peace in the world? And it looks like this. So everybody try it. So anytime you get a little bristled or a little irritated, it's like, wait a minute. So there's another way for me to be in the Word. And have about to eat if you can. Stay for the workshop. It's only a couple of hours for your life. And if you know somebody that didn't come today that's had just enough suffering, go call them or text them or email them and tell them to get over here. Okay. There's something for them here today, that they don't have to suffer like that anymore. That there's a way out for them too. So get them over here if you can. Yeah. Much, much love to you. All blessings. Couldn't leave without leaving shoes. So they left the ones they were wearing. And I still get reports today on how that transformed their lives. Of believing I had to have the shoes I was wearing. And it wasn't true. So follow your guidance on that. Only you know what the answer is. And if you decide to leave them, there's a box in the lobby.
I sold my soul for a drop of desert rain. Wrestled with the demons and wanted back again. see. And I found something to believe. Yeah, I got my sign. Something to hang on to while I'm driving blind. A face I remember, a name I recognize, 'cause I am someone to believe in. And I've watched the world go by behind a pane of glass, trapped in a room constructed of my past. And I have sung a song with no one there to hear, in the hopes that I might feel that someone's near. Still the passion's burning bright, unstopped by all the stormy weather. And I will not be denied, 'cause now I see. And I found something to believe. Yeah, I got my sign. Something to hang on to while I'm driving blind. A face I remember, a name I recognize, 'cause I am someone to believe in. My heart beats so loudly I can't hear a sound. Oh, now I stand proudly, 'cause I found the way to be, and I choose free. 'Cause I found me, and I found something to believe. Yeah, I got my sign. Something to hang on to while I'm driving blind. A face I remember, a name I recognize, 'cause I am someone to believe in. Oh, I am someone to believe in. Oh, I am someone to
So much. Man, what a day. I want to tell you before we do the Sacred Walk of Abundance that we are still collecting annual membership renewals. If you haven't done that yet, if you have done it, you can put it right in there, which is what I'm going to do. If you haven't done it, be sure that you do that today. We identified 18 different people yesterday you could hand this to. It is that glorious time when we have a chance to give back. And I ask that you join us on our Sacred Walk of Abundance. We have a new affirmation this morning, so feel it resonate through you as you enter into divine flow. I live in the midst of infinite abundance. I give freely and fearlessly to life, and life gives back to me.
open your hands and your hearts.
Lord, Jenny's on fire. I can hear it. I can feel it.
Living, loving Spirit, we bless these tithes and offerings. We know that they have been given from that place inside of love and joy and peace. And we know that they will flow back from this ministry out into the community and beyond to continue the message of peace. And we know that as we give, so shall we receive. And that looks like it being heaped up, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, for that's the law. And so it is. Amen.
Actually, Martha, we already have a name for this. We call it the Frank.